congratulations first. Here it is, the big day. Thoughts on the big day?
I could be more, well, thank you, first off, and excited to be here today. And look, I couldn't be more energized and excited to serve. So I spent the better part of 10, 11 months fighting for this opportunity, and the last 2 months trying to realize it and figuring out what this is going to look like, spending tons of time in training and orientation. So, but now it's time to get to work, so couldn't be more energized.
What do you think are reasonable expectations that people can have for you?
Reasonable expectations in terms of like getting things done.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an excellent question. So I think public safety is the number one thing. I campaign very heavily on, and I think it's the number one issue that swept me into office personally. I can speak on me in my race. So I think that's the number one issue on people's hearts and their minds. It's certainly going to be my number one priority and focus. So expectation-wise, it's going to take some time to right the ship, but I am committed to working collaboratively with my fellow council members and this mayor to execute on those things that I talked about during the campaign. How we're going to hire more officers, how we're going to grow, scale, and expand our crisis care team, our third pillar of response, how we're going to continue to support our firefighter heroes and first responders, and make sure we have a holistic, comprehensive public safety approach, if you will.
So in terms of what you think that you and your new colleagues can get done, any thoughts on expectations there? I mean, people are certainly going in with high hopes. Oh boy, new people, new everything.
Yeah. In the very near term, expectations in terms of accomplishments, we have some charter responsibilities. In the first 20 days, we have to fill this vacancy by Councilmember Teresa Mosqueda, who, as we know, is taking on a new role in the King County Council. So under the charter, we have 20 days to fill that, and there's a certain process. We have some room for flexibility there, but that is our priority number one in this first month or so. So filling that vacancy is priority number one.
So one thing that I'm really interested to hear is what specific ways are you going to stay in touch with everybody and have an open door? Some council members in the past have done newsletters, office hours, etc. What are your plans?
Yeah, so one thing that I thought that Councilmember Lisa Herbal did particularly well was she had a fairly robust communications outreach program and strategy. The newsletter, which was, like Kip did a good job, I think, of keeping people up to date on kind of what her and her office were working on and some of their priorities, and giving people visibility and insights into that. So I plan to continue that. The newsletter, the regular newsletter, I've let everyone in my new office know, and I'm proud to have hired 2 of 3 people so far, but I've let everyone in my office know that our number one focus is constituent services. And, and that includes me. That includes timely responding to emails and outreach, even if we might not have a good answer. So being responsive is something that is really, really important to me and my office, and we have a great initial team to help execute on that. And we also want to establish a field office. I talked a fair amount about that during the campaign, and so in the first 90 days, going to be looking towards citing and looking at some opportunities to set up a field office where, rather than people come make the trek out to City Hall, they can come somewhere in the district, maybe in the Junction, who knows, but somewhere where people can meet and gather, and we can hear their concerns and be responsive in that manner. So.
Tracy, I'm sorry, 2 more questions? Thank you.
Anything else that you want people to know as you get ready to officially start things?
Well, I guess if people like quickly repairing potholes, they're going to love me. In addition to some of those other things that, campaign heavily on during the campaign, prioritizing public safety, action on homelessness, and driving affordability, starting with affordable housing. I'm really focused on a back to basics agenda, fulfilling our core responsibilities as a city, including something very, very important to our district, especially West Seattle, being a historically kind of isolated community, but making sure our bridges and roads are repaired and properly maintained, filling potholes. Someone asked me the other day, Tracy, oh, you talk about infrastructure a lot and sidewalks and potholes. You must want to be the king of potholes. And yes, I do want to be the king of potholes in our district. But if people like the little nitty-gritty things that don't generally garner much headlines, maybe in the blog, who knows, but that actually make a difference, I think they're going to love me serving them. So, potholes.
Thank you.